Back in 1990, I made an album called Leap of Faith. And one song on that album, co-written with Guy Thomas, called Conviction of the Heart, stood out for me. It chronicles one man's path from his illusion of separation to somehow understanding his connection to everyone and everything around him. The chorus of that song, one with the earth, one with the sky, one with everything in life, became an important anthem for me. I have to admit, at first I didn't understand how those words connected to the rest of the song. In fact, the truth is, I dreamed the song. I dreamed that chorus. I woke up with that refrain playing over and over in my head like a message in a bottle the morning after Guy and I had written the verses. At first it seemed like an odd, almost disjuncted musical section, like it didn't belong, yet I knew it did. And somehow that defined the importance of that song to me, and over the years to many other people, as a kind of environmental anthem. It took me many years of performing that song before I finally understood why it mattered so much. I slowly began to realize that the so-called environmental movement was really about a mass cultural consciousness shift. That until each of us understands that we actually are connected to every living thing on the planet, including the planet itself, until we realize that our very existence is inextricably dependent upon the health of the planet's biosystems, which the science clearly simply supports, mankind is literally doomed. I know that's a heavy thing to say. In 1990, when I first started educating myself about the environmental movement, I read that according to the Union of Concerned Scientists, even back then, we were already standing on the precipice, that it was our 11th hour before no action we take could reverse the damage we'd done to the planet. As scary as the news was then, I believed that mankind would at least be willing to do what must be done to save themselves. I hadn't yet realized that those words that I wrote, one with the earth, one with the sky, one with everything in life, was actually a spiritual challenge to each and every one of us, not really a political one like everyone seems to want you to believe. I confess for the last 20 years, because of my own disillusionment, I've been in the process of losing my faith in mankind. Instead of joining together to use our ingenuity, our powers of invention, our commonality, and willpower, like I expected us to do, we've bickered over the cost and politics of saving the planet, as if we actually have a choice. And it's like we don't understand the meaning and the implication of those words, one with everything in life. We don't really get it, at least not until recently. Last night, I watched David Attenborough's A Life on Our Planet, and it all came flooding back into me. I once again remembered why I'd been so drawn to the environmental movement in the 90s. A Life on Our Planet is Mr. Attenborough's eloquent and beautiful love letter to the Earth. He has dedicated his life to exploring and filming the Earth's wild places, from the early 1950s to present day. And now at the age of 94, this, his last testament, is gorgeous. It's totally spellbinding, and even terrifying and disheartening, but ultimately, paradoxically hopeful, offering us a clear roadmap that every country, including our own, could follow towards a rebirth of the planet. And for me, even a rebirth of hope in humanity and our possibilities. I cannot recommend this movie more highly. It not only spells out very clearly the predicament we're presently all in, but even more importantly, the path out. All we need now is the will and the vision to survive. And yes, the leadership. We can no longer afford to pretend that this isn't happening. Moving backwards into fossil fuels as if our best days are actually behind us will be our undoing. Thinking that the earth and all its plants and animals are somehow disconnected from us, that they're simply here for us to squander as the spoils of our so-called supremacy, is the surest way to our own extinction. So here's the deal. All of us were born into this moment, this time in history, in this place, for this very ultimate challenge. We must step up and take it on, or perish in our greed and arrogance. This is our moment. This is why we're here. We truly are all connected, as Mr. Attenborough's powerful movie clearly shows. And I still believe that we can survive if we only have the will to. I urge all of us to believe in each other one more time, to know that together with a common purpose and a belief in an even better future, we still have time to create the change needed to survive. It's simply time to wake up, to realize that our leadership reflects our consciousness. If we embrace our connectedness and our common needs, if we take action now, we could usher in a time of visionary leadership unprecedented in human history. So, what can we do right now? We can start this change. We can vote. It's never been clearer. Please, for the sake of our country, our lives, our world, vote. Vote for each other and for the future of your children. And vote for this planet and all the beautiful plants and animals that are still on it. Vote like your life depends on it, because it does. Thank you.